All right, Geminis, welcome. Let's get right into your forecast for the week of February 23rd through March 1st. We're going to unlock what the universe has in store for you this week. So, are you ready? Because let me tell you, the stars, the cards, the runes, they are all pointing to a really fascinating week for you. So yeah, let's dive right in and see what's coming your way. Okay, so first things first, what's the overall vibe you're going to be carrying this week? Well, the news is it's fantastic. The main theme for you is this powerful wave of confidence and a real surge in your creative energy. And you know, the forecast has this perfect way of describing it. You're going to feel like a fish in water, just totally in your element, like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And this isn't just some feeling you'll have on the inside. No, this fish in water vibe, it's going to show. It translates into this really powerful, noticeable self-confidence. You'll be navigating everything with this grace and ease that, trust me, everyone around you is going to notice right from the very start of the week. All right, so with all that good stuff, you might think it's all smooth sailing. Well, not quite. The week won't be completely free of bumps, but what's really fascinating is how you're set up to handle them. And I just love this line from the forecast. It's perfect. It says you'll be jumping over potholes, like hopping from one bump to another. See? It captures the challenges so well. These aren't huge roadblocks. They're just minor potholes in your path. Yeah, they're there, but you're going to have the agility to just leap right over them.
So there's a really clear pattern here. A little issue might pop up, but that confidence we talked about, it's going to be so high that you'll just handle it almost instantly. And hey, you're not doing this alone. The forecast is clear, fortune is on your side, and so are your friends.
Okay, so you're feeling great, you're leaping over obstacles, but what about other people? How are your interactions going to play out with all this confidence? Well, this is where you'll need to be just a little more mindful, especially around the middle of the week.
So yeah, things get kind of interesting here. That awesome confidence of yours might actually cause some people to not quite get where you're coming from. But the forecast gets really specific about one thing. You need to watch out for envy. Your success, your self-assurance, it's going to attract some envious eyes. And some of those people might even try to tempt you or pull you off your path. So just be aware.
All right, let's switch gears to something super practical, your money. The runes have some really direct, actionable advice for you this week. And believe it or not, it all kicks off with one simple question.
And this is it. This is the big question the forecast wants you to really, truly ask yourself. There's this feeling that your money might be slipping away and you don't fully see where it's going or why. So just take a second, think about that. Where is your money going? The message from the runes could not be clearer. It is time for a financial checkup. You need to look closely at what's coming in and what's going out. Find those little leaks. And this is crucial. If you find a problem that you can't solve yourself, the runes are practically screaming at you to go get help from a professional. Don't try to go it alone on this one.
Okay, let's move on to your health and well-being. The forecast flags a couple of specific things to keep an eye on. Now, the goal here isn't to freak you out, not at all. It's just about encouraging you to listen really closely to what your body is trying to tell you this week.
So be on the lookout for a few specific physical signals. The forecast mentions something kind of strange, like a feeling on your tongue as if it's been burned. More importantly, though, pay attention to any potential fluctuations in your blood pressure and maybe a feeling of heaviness in your eyes. All of this could just be a sign of some serious fatigue, which means making sure you get enough rest is absolutely essential. All right, let's pull all these threads together. As we start to wrap things up, the final bit of guidance is really all about perspective. It's about looking beyond just this week and starting to understand the bigger patterns that are at play in your life.
This piece of advice comes straight from the time card, and honestly, it's so important. The forecast is really urging you to look for cycles in your life. Are you repeating a pattern? Are you facing a challenge that feels weirdly familiar? The whole key is to recognize it so you don't waste your precious time and energy going through something you've already dealt with before.
So when you boil it all down, your week really comes down to this one core choice. On one hand, you've got those short-term temptations, those distractions, probably coming from those envious people we talked about earlier. And on the other hand, you've got your own really clear long-term vision for your future. And you know what? The power is totally in your hands. This week is offering you so much: confidence, strength, even the support of fortune itself. But yeah, you're going to face choices that will test your focus. We've laid out the map for you, but how you walk the path, that's all on you. So the real question is, which will you choose?